Valley of the Sun. Monday Night Football is underway. Prescott, looking for the end zone. Touchdown, Dallas. That's why he's a captain. He shreds it. As trying for the end zone. One of the great efforts you will ever see. How about them Cowboys? Deep down to the end zone. Touchdown, Bryce Butler. Great work by Prescott.
Dak Prescott threw 2 touchdown passes and ran for another in the Cowboys' win last night. We're joined by Fox NFL analyst Tony Gonzalez. Welcome, Tony. Good morning.
Morning. Good to be here. Good morning, Tony.
Hey, Shannon. You look good today, buddy.
See, Skip.
Sarcastically.
You see, I try to be Skip. I try to be nice. Hey, Tony, how you doing?
Yep.
Oh, hey, Shannon. How are you?
You just
You look good today.
No, you're not.
You look good.
Well, tell him what he said on camera, Joy.
I said he wears cutoff jean shorts and peanut butter boots in his off days, I
He
bet.
does.
No, I do not.
He does.
Skip wear tight pants, though.
Skinny jeans. Are you a skinny jean guy?
Skip doesn't
'cause
skip leg day like
I
you
can
do.
actually fit into them
Yeah.
as opposed to somebody across from me.
Oh.
150.
Skip, let me start with you. What grade would you give Dak last night?
I'm going to give him an A for last night because it's so hard to define off his stats because Dak Prescott is your basic game manager, extremely capable of making spectacular plays when necessary. So you look at the numbers and you say 13 of 18, just what, for 183 yards, and you're giving him an A? It was the classic case of the game that Tony Romo would have lost because it was teetering, and Tony Romo would have said, we got no run game. I got to try this. And it's going the other direction. And then I got to try this. The other way. Remember the Carolina game on Thanksgiving when Tony came back 2 years ago? It was pick sixes going all directions, right?
Or your Cowboys versus the Broncos.
Ooh.
That hurt, Skip.
Last second play. Yeah. After he
Gotta get
throws
over it.
506 yards. Well, it was a long time ago, but he had Peyton Manning on the ropes, and then he throws it to the guy in the orange, right? When you least expect it, or you should expect it. So Dak Prescott took over last year and changed the whole culture of the organization because he taught them through deed, not word, how to win close games. They had a game just like this later in the year last year up at Minnesota. His stats are pedestrian, and they pulled it out 17-15 because he made key plays. So last night, they're struggling. Zeke can't get a yard. The offensive line is getting its golden tails whipped. And what did he do? He said, I got to take this upon myself, and I'm gonna go dangerous here. I'm going to go high risk. I'm going to basically somersault over 2 DBs into the end zone because that's all we got right now, and it made it 7-7. And then he makes 2 plays on the run out of the pocket to somebody people forget about as underrated and underpublicized receivers they have, Bryce Butler, the only player he has who can, because Dez can't get behind anybody anymore, as we talked about the other day. Bryce Butler at 6'3", 220 can fly, and he twice got behind the right DB, who is not Patrick Peterson, and Dak on the run throws a high-velocity strike both times to Bryce Butler. Those 2 plays won the game, so they go 3 times in the red zone, and Dak makes sure they go 3 for 3 in the red zone. Carson Palmer goes 4 times the red zone and goes 1 for 4. That's the game. And all of a sudden, the final score at 28-17 looks like Dallas won pretty handily. It wasn't handy at all. I was a pool of sweat at the end of the game because they only had the ball for 45 plays to 75 plays for the Arizona Cardinals. With that defense, you kept that defense on the field and you still won like that. It's all about the quarterback. And as Jason Garrett said, it's just he has an amazing spirit about him that everybody wants to follow. Mentally tough, makes crucial plays without making crucial mistakes. He played that whole game under duress, and they had 0 turnovers. So I got to give him an A, even though the stats scream C-.
Skip, I gave him an A also because if I'd have told you, if I said, Skip, the Cowboys are only going to run 45 plays, they're only going to possess the ball for a little over 23 minutes, and they'll have 273 yards of total offense, you're going to say they're going to lose.
Wow.
But the reason why he got an A is that he didn't force the issue and he played error-free football. They really control Zeke. You mentioned it. 15 of his 18 carries went for 17 yards.
Yeah.
He got the bulk of that 88 in 3 carries.
He did.
So basically, we're asking Dak Prescott to make plays, but don't put the ball in harm's way. Do you know how hard that is? Because think about it, I played on a team like that. I felt we could win as long as we didn't turn the ball over. Dak knows they don't have a defense that takes the ball away. They have one guy that can consistently get to the quarterback, but they're not a turnover opportunistic. They're not a Ravens or one of these teams that turn you over and take the ball away and get points out of it. So he knows he has to be extra cautious, but he has to be extra accurate because he's only going to get so many opportunities. 13 of 18. Normally when you see that, okay, 13 of 18, 183 yards, team won the ball game. How many yards did they rush for? They had to rush for 150. They had to rush for 200. No. You're like, huh? What? They had 30 fewer plays. The team had the ball, 13 more. What on here?
Wait, 2 for 9 on third down?
You know what happened?
Giving him an A?
How about this here? What happened in that ball game last night? Dak happened. That's it.
Well, come on, Tony. Give him a C+.
No, I can't give him a C, but I got to agree with you guys. But for the same reasons that you guys said, too. I love the way he played, managed the clock and all. He didn't turn the ball over. But I love it because I think the juice, the greatness that players have, guys like Shannon Sharp, guys, you're going to go through those tough times in your career. You're going to go through bad games. And he didn't play well last week. Him or Ezekiel didn't play well last week. Threw, what was it, 2 picks?
I didn't think they were his fault, but go ahead.
Well, whatever. He had 2 picks, and you respond. And
Didn't look
the
good.
way
Yep.
he came out and responded. That is where greatness lies. That is, to me, where I judge your play. How do you play after that bad game? Tom Brady didn't play well that first week. He goes against the next week and lights it up against the Saints. I know he's going against the Saints defense, but for a guy to come back and play the way he did, this is what makes him so special. This is why the Dallas Cowboys have a superstar elite quarterback in the making. He's going to keep getting better.
Yeah.
I loved everything about him. And what about those first 2 games? He was throwing the ball how many times to Dez?
Yeah.
And yesterday, only threw it to him twice.
Yeah.
And one went for -3, and the other one, he carried half the defense into the end zone.
But Dez is a personality. That's hard to do.
I know.
Yeah.
And that's what impressed you last year. Did you say that? How he was like,
He said, I'll throw it to him when he's open.
Throw it-
Did he
and
say
I
that
think
about 88?
he got back to who he was.
In quarterbacks, you want them to be the smartest guy on the field, but you want them to have the shortest memory because you can't remember what happened last week.
No.
Because if you let last week creep into this week, you'll repeat last week's performance. And the great players, if you look at the great players, regardless of position, they don't normally put together 2 back-to-back bad games on tape. You might get them one week. You might get old Tom Brady. You might block Von Miller one week. But guess what? They're too great. They'll figure you out. And for Dak Prescott to play as poorly as the offensive unit did. Because here's the thing. As poorly as they played last week, if he has a similar game, they don't win, Skip. They don't win. He had to be flawless. And he was.
And also, what I love about this kid is, and he's still a kid to me, although he plays like a 35-year-old, but the script got flipped last night because they won last year consistently by dominating time of possession. They were number 2 in time of possession and number 1 in 5+ minute drives in the NFL last year. That'll work because you can keep that for average defense over there.
Correct.
The average defense was out there in the sweat bath last night for 75 plays, but it's upside down, and the quarterback says, oh, well, maybe we got to do this, this, and this. So on 3 plays, he won a game that for a while I didn't think they were going to survive.
Yeah, and the way, and I'll take it even further. In fact, for me, I look at the players. I judge a player by how he responds after that bad game. You know, after a bad game, you were like, the next game, I can't wait to get back out there. And then you put it all on the line. The way they were quarterback lead powers, jumping over. Like, I was like, oh, don't hurt yourself when he drove into the end zone. I just thought it was great. That is where greatness lies, right in there, and how you respond to the bad times.
That guy, the game came down to 3 plays.
It did.
He made all 3 of them.
He did.
Sometimes it comes down to 1 play. We've seen guys that come down to 1 play and they make the wrong play. It came down to 3 plays, and every play that needed to be made, he made it. And that's how you see a guy starts on that trajectory towards greatness. He's not there yet.
I was about to say, you're just saying so many nice things about the Cowboys.
Yeah,
Starting to
well,
freak
trying
me
to
out a
set
little
them
bit,
up
right?
for
Why would I do that, Skip? Who they play next week?
Rams.
Oh, let's go Rams.
Rams dangerous.
Let's go Rams.
Aaron Donald.
Aaron Donald.
Tony, thanks
Here he
for joining
comes.
us.
Robert Quinn.
Greg Popovich.